Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. For today's video, I'm painting a scene of Monet's garden in Giverny, France. I recently just replaced my Miya Himi gouache palette. My old palette in my previous videos was getting way too beat up to continue using, so I thought it'd be fitting to repaint a similar scene to the very first piece I ever created with Miya Himi gouache. This piece was a lot of fun to create. I would love to see this garden in person someday. It's literally on my artist bucket list, but for now, I guess I'll just keep painting pictures of it until I can finally go. This piece was done on Canson watercolor paper. I like using watercolor paper for my gouache work because it holds a lot better than mixed media paper, and it's a little easier to set up than a canvas. I like to hang up my gouache pieces on my walls, so taping it down with some masking tape leaves a nice crisp border along the edges of the final piece. I've never used gouache on a canvas, but I'd love to try it out someday, maybe on like a canvas board. I think the Miya Himi gouache would work out pretty well on canvas since it's quite opaque and pretty easy to lay down. I created this piece by first sketching out my composition with gouache. I like to use gouache to sketch because it allows me to easily cover up and edit my composition as I work. I tend to have a pretty heavy hand when it comes to using pens and pencils, so using gouache to sketch makes it pretty easy to completely cover my underpainting. After my initial sketch, I begin to color block in the largest tones on the piece. I try to establish a range of lights and darks pretty early on so the piece retains a full range of colors in the final product. It's easier to spot midtones once you have your lightest lights and darkest dark tones established. This piece has a pretty consistent color palette of greens. One thing I really admire about Monet's work is his consistency in choosing colors. Color theory and harmony is so important in a painting's success, and it's something that I'm trying to learn more and more about with each new piece. I liked working with a limited color palette in this piece and in many of my other landscape pieces. I'm still striving to find my own style of painting, but I definitely see myself gravitating towards these more simplistic color palette landscapes for future work. Recently, I've been going through a lot of changes in my life. I moved again, which has been insane, and completely changed my art making process. I took a little break from posting videos while I got settled into my new space and new school, and I'm finally in a place where I feel content and happy to make art again. I was able to set up and designate a space in my room to make art, which makes me so happy. I hope to make way more videos once I get my final setup sorted and hopefully share a little tour of my working space in the process. I think the biggest thing with all of this moving is that I've learned a lot about myself and my motivation to make art. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really difficult to find myself in the proper mental state to create because I haven't been able to properly establish a permanent studio spot. I'm still a student, so finding balance has been a big part of my life these past couple years. Having a permanent space to create is really important to keep my creative flow going. Now that I'm finally able to establish my studio space, I'm so excited to fully immerse myself in my creative work again without having to set up and take down every time I want to make something. Creating little gouache pieces like this one helps generate a path for my larger and more time-consuming pieces. I think the biggest lesson I've learned, and I'm continuing to learn in my art journey, is to not be so hard on myself when I can't pick up a paintbrush for a bit. Painting serene pieces like this is so refreshing to me as an artist. Art is unfortunately not my full-time career, so I've had to juggle my passion for it in between full-time school and working. However, art has really helped me in so many ways of my own life. Having the time and passion to create is so beneficial to all aspects of my life. I'm an architecture student, so I constantly see the effects of art and design in my day-to-day work. I'm so fortunate to continue making videos and creating things for you all, even when it gets really difficult to carve out the time to do so. I hope you all enjoyed watching this painting process with me. The final moments of a painting where I add the details are always my favorite part of the process. These final touches really pull the painting together. Thank you all so much for watching. I can't believe there are 3,000 of you here now. That's so cool. Thank you so much. I'm super thankful for all your support. I hope you enjoyed this week's painting video, and I will hopefully see you all again in the next one really soon.